In a previous lesson, I went through the thin lens equation and the magnification equation with the variables and their sign conventions. In particular, we want to note that converging lenses have positive focal lengths, diverging lenses have negative. Once again, here's a mnemonic to help you remember that the object distance is symbolized by a P and the image distance in these lessons is symbolized by a Q. And inverted images are always real, upright images are always virtual, IR, UV. So let's try this problem. We have a converging lens, so we know that the focal length must have a positive value. We're told that the real image is 0.38 centimeters tall. Well, we know that real images are always inverted, and the height of something that's inverted is negative. Therefore, we're going to put h prime to be negative 0.38 centimeters. And the real image is formed 9.1 centimeters from the lens. So that is Q, and real images have positive Qs. So there's a little bit of thinking that went into getting the value for these variables here on the right. How far from the lens is the thimble? That means what is the object distance, and how tall is the thimble? In other words, what's the height of the object? Let's take the thin lens equation. Let's solve it for P by subtracting 1 over Q from both sides, then taking the reciprocal of both sides, and all those numbers on the right side of the equation we know, so we can solve for the object distance, about 50 centimeters. And how tall is the thimble? Let's use the magnification equation. We're not asked to calculate the magnification, so I think I'm just going to leave that part out of it and just use this expression here. We know h prime, we know what Q is. Remember, the equation has the opposite of Q, and Q here is positive 9.1. That's why we have opposite of 9.1. We just figured out the object distance to be 50. Cross multiply and solve that for h. Final thoughts on doing lens problems. You must know the sign conventions for focal length in order to solve lens problems. Converging lenses have a positive focal length, diverging lenses have a negative focal length. In using the thin lens equation, be sure to solve for variables carefully. Under no circumstance should you begin by writing P plus Q equals F. That is wrong. Also, be careful not to overlook or lose track of negative signs. There's an extra one in the magnification equation, and double negatives crop up every so often.